I want to make some super cute items for my Florida vacation.
Yes, vacation.
It's like right when I decided to record, the guy with the weed eater decided it was time to weed eat.
I'm leaving in about 2 weeks, so I don't have a ton of time to do this, but that's on me because I have been procrastinating. Also, everything that I make for this trip has to be made without a zipper because my dumbass forgot my zipper foot.
That's real intelligent.
And several other feet that go along with my sewing machine, and I only have one, so I am only able to make things that tie or button. And that's also without my button attachment, but I have figured out how to at least make buttonholes without that.
Ooh, look who knows so much, huh?
So I know you're probably thinking,
I'm sure there's a way that you can put in a zipper without a zipper foot.
and yes, you are correct.
But I don't want to.
Zippers are already my nemesis.
There's no reason to make it even worse.
Moving on, I put up a poll and you guys voted. I am going to be making a bikini cover-up or a bathing suit cover-up. I absolutely love these. They're so pretty. And I want one that's kind of flowy because I want to have one of these pictures on a beach where the skirt is just kind of like flowing in the breeze, or when you're sitting and the skirt's kind of like laying out. I want one of these photos.
And I will make sure that I get one.
I'm actually using this duvet cover that I thrifted recently, and I'm using it because you guys voted for this one.
It is beautiful.
I'm so excited to make this wrap out of this because it is just gorgeous. Look at it.
It is so pretty.
I swear that weed eater guy is getting closer and closer. And I do want to thank you guys for voting because that actually helped me so much. I was really kind of just racking my brain with which material I should use, and I do love this material that you guys voted for. I am so glad you picked it actually, because I was actually leaning that way, so you guys are super smart.
Absolutely agree.
So here is the pattern that I'm using for this cover up. I'm gonna go with this one right here because I do want it to be longer. It doesn't look like it's gonna be all the way to the ground, but for me, being the shorty that I am, it is like beyond the ground. It is going to the ground and beyond.
And beyond!
So whenever I make a pattern, I like to change the pattern to be what I want it to be. I don't necessarily follow the directions. I will read the directions fully before I start a pattern. But once I get the gist, I will figure out what I want to change, what I want to keep. I have decided I don't like the sleeves. If you can see, the sleeves have like this attached flounce or this attached like bell sleeve. I don't like that it's attached. I like when a sleeve is one full sleeve. Okay, let's do this.
So the first thing I always do is trace my pattern onto different paper so I can cut or alter without hurting the original. And using this gorgeous duvet that the thrifting gods bestowed upon me, it was time to separate the material. This part can be time consuming and annoying, but with the magic of editing, it can be easy.
Wow.
I can cut out my pieces for this overlay. But first, I want to show you really quick how I'm going to alter the sleeve. I have decided not to alter the skirt and make it wider because I'm afraid I'm not going to have enough material with this and I don't want to run out of material. So I am going to alter the sleeve though. I want it nice.
Ooh.
I want it nice and floofy. I do want to add some length to the sleeve, and I also want to make it nice and poofy. So now I'm going to show you how it's done.
Yeah, I just did that.
It's like my favorite movie right now. I'm so obsessed with this movie, K-Pop Demon Hunters. If you haven't seen it,
You have to see it. It's so good.
the storyline, the characters, the music, Ginu.
Oh my god! So hot, I cried myself to sleep last night.
Okay, let's do this.
To change a sleeve pattern, the first thing I do is add the length of what I need to the pattern by just adding more paper underneath and marking the extended length. Then I mark 2 lines in the center of my sleeve about 6 inches apart, and you can add more of these lines if you like. I'm only doing 2. Then cut on these lines from the wrist part up, being careful not to cut past the shoulder line. Now you can open up the pattern to your desired width and put that paper onto more paper.
And then I'll put that box inside of another box, and then I'll nail that box to myself.
Then you simply tape the new pattern down and voila, you have a new sleeve pattern. Now I can pin all of these pieces onto my material and cut everything out.
Okay, so it is not the next day, it's actually a few days later because I got completely distracted, and it tends to happen when I'm
working on something.
I am inching slowly closer towards my trip, and my huge list of everything that I was gonna make is becoming smaller and smaller because I just don't have the time now to make everything that I wanted to make. I have everything cut out, and honestly, the hardest part for me when I'm sewing is the cutting out of the pattern. It's not that it's hard, it's that it's tedious
and annoying.
I realize I have quite a few scraps left, and I'm trying to use as much of this duvet as I can. I don't want to add too much to my pile of scraps because that bag is starting to overflow.
What? Oh shit.
Here are two of the pieces that I was able to salvage right here, if you can see. So my plan is to change the bottom. Let me show you how I'm gonna alter the bottom. Typically I do this before I even cut it out. I have already cut it out, but I can go ahead and alter it since it's just the bottom of the skirt. So let's go ahead and do that right now.
To add a ruffle layer to the bottom of the skirt, I used the 2 large scrap pieces to measure how much to take off the bottom of the skirt. On every pattern, there are notches and marks that tell you where to attach things or where buttonholes are meant to go. I made sure to transfer any of these important ones to my traced out patterns and then onto my material. This pattern wants me to put the buttonhole in before attaching anything and stay stitches on the curve of the front bodice to prevent it from moving when added to the band. This is actually one of my favorite ways to attach sleeves because once the shoulders are attached, you just open up the shirt like this and attach the sleeves with right sides touching and stitch. Now you can attach the sides of the shirt as well as down the sleeves all at the same time.
This could be a light jacket during the spring. I just feel like this is such a cute pattern to just make the top part and change the sleeves to be something super cute. So I started stitching the skirt together and was so excited that I was making such good headway, and I completely forgot that there are pockets that are supposed to go into this.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get it.
So now I have to unstitch at least a little bit below this and above it so that I can put in the pockets, because you know
Mama needs her pockets.
All right, let's do this.
Thank goodness this isn't a long and tedious process.
Yes, I suppose I am a little bit stressed.
One side down. I did it.
String everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna add these damn pockets.
I attached the pockets to the sides at the markings and stitched. Then I attached the skirt front and back right sides together. I also gathered and added the ruffled piece to the bottom of that layer. Finally, I attached the top layer to the skirt half with right sides together, and with an inch wide seam allowance, was able to create the casing for my tie in the middle. Then with that wide seam, I laid it flat and stitched really close to the edge, creating my casing. Then the final thing is to complete the band that goes all the way around the neck, all the way to the bottom. I also finished the tie that goes through the waist part. Now all I need to do is attach the band to the neck edge and it's done. Are you ready for the reveal?
Enchanté.
Okay, so I just want to have a quick chat sesh. So this did not turn out exactly as I planned. In the pattern, if you guys remember when I was making it, the band is supposed to be much wider and this neckline is supposed to come in a lot more than it is. I ended up making a mistake when I was stitching the band onto this row part, and I used a special stitch that makes leaves going up. It used way too much thread. And as I was stitching it, it started to kind of wrinkle a little bit, so I had to pull on it to get it to kind of flatten out, which caused the leaves to look weird. I ended up having to completely cut this entire band back off, which is why it's so small. I lost a lot of the band, and then I ended up having to restitch it back on. So I ended up losing not only some of the band, but also some of the width of this, which made the neck back part wider and everything just kind of bigger. So then I had to remake the back band part because it wasn't as small as it used to be, which would have made this not sit as wide on the shoulders. And it was just, yeah, it was kind of just it was just a mess. It was a mess. Taking the band back off took me like several hours. Doing everything over again took several hours. And then when I put this piece back on, the smaller band, it ended up being crooked. So I ended up unstitching that again and restitching that back on because I realized I can tend to be a bit of a perfectionist.
I don't do anything half-assed.
I had to not look at it for a few hours, for actually a day, because I was so mad that it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to turn out, and how it actually would have looked so amazing with a wider band and with the neck being perfect. And I had to kind of just come to terms with not everything's going to be perfect.
You think?
And it's hard for me to think that way because I almost wanted to change it again. And then I thought, this is a swimsuit cover-up and you bought this for $3. It's going to be okay. So that was my lesson in making this, and it's okay to lose it or for it not to turn out the way I wanted it or planned, and I can always make another one. I'm no longer mad at it, which is amazing. So I am super excited to wear this with my swimsuit in Florida. It's lightweight. It is the perfect material for this. And I did leave the sleeves super long. I actually like that it's kind of covering my hands. I know I could probably go a little shorter, but and I love that I can like button it up right here. So if I want to go into a restaurant or something, it's just gonna be
Perfect.
I only have time to make one more item before my trip. So hopefully I can get that done within a matter of an hour or two. It's a very small project. Anyway, I hope you guys loved this video and I will see you guys again soon.